On the Vineyard pilgrimage, I think one of the things we're talking about is a leadership track. And starting with teenagers, we have this great opportunity with Project Timothy. It's not the only thing in the movement. It's not even the best thing in the movement. I think there's a lot of great stuff happening in the movement. But it's one thing where we take teenagers and we say, if you're seeing leadership potential in this teenager, we'll take them and work with them and invest in them in a way that maybe some churches don't have the resources to do or the time to do. And also it just builds a leadership community, honestly. It creates a cohort within your region of young people who see themselves as leaders. And then they go back into their church, they sign a 1-year contract to go back into your local church and lead. Lead in your youth ministry or a kids ministry or one of my favorite stories, we had a 14-year-old come to us the first year that we ever did this in the East. We've been doing it for 7 years now. And when she went back after coming for 2 years, her church didn't have a youth worker anymore. And so at I think 16 years old, they said, well, could you just do this? Because you've been going to Project Timothy. And she started teaching and leading their youth group. And a couple years later, she brought their group to the winter retreat. And that's a small picture of what can happen. We're seeing, I think several hundred people have come through Project Timothy. Now it's in 3 sites. And we're seeing them just kind of spread out into the Vineyard. And so I'm super excited about what God can do there. I think it's a great opportunity to train up teenage leaders, to give them some identity and a place early on so that they can find that consistently as they become young adults, which I think is the idea of Vineyard Pilgrimage, that there's not these drop-offs, right, where we lose hundreds or thousands of people, that we connect them. We say, okay, as a teen, you see yourself as a leader, and then what's the next step? And you talk about HLI, and then the next step, and you talk about VI, and we have this track that we're creating for leaders in the movement from a young age that has bridges built so we won't lose them. So that makes me excited to be part of what we're talking about.